Hey guys, this is Spencer from Periphery, and you're watching Bucketlist.
Hey guys, it's Jason from Bucketlist, and I am joined by Spencer Sotelo of Periphery. I'm officially shitting my pants, so let's get this on the road. Started off, you guys make this completely impossible. Here's why. You do 1,000 fucking interviews a year, and it is absolutely the worst thing trying to find a question that you have not already been asked. So I just wanted to put that out there.
I commend you for trying to find original questions that haven't been asked.
Oh, I was crying, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so how's the tour been going so far?
It's been great, man. We're on the last leg of it right now. We've been out for almost 4 weeks, about 4 weeks now. And yeah, it's been amazing, dude. The amount of kids that have come out to our shows and how enthusiastic they've been every night, it's been unreal.
Cool, man. I particularly noticed there's only, what, 2 Canadian dates on this actual leg of the run?
Yes.
Obviously, there's a very good reason for trying to avoid the Great White North at this time of year, but
it's pretty brutal, man. It's so goddamn cold here. But
try fucking living here. Anyway, do you guys plan on coming back to do the rest of the country at some point?
I would love to. Yeah, somebody yesterday just told us that we need to get up to like Nova Scotia or in places like that. You know, like Halifax, and that would be sick, man. And we need to tour the West Coast more, West Coast of here more.
There will be very little amounts of sobriety, but yes, that's definitely something you need to do. Now, talking a little bit about the album, which is mostly what we're going to touch on. You guys did this ridiculous amount of hype before this album came out, with pictures, jokes, this, that, and the other. Had that hype paid off since the album's come out? Do you guys feel like you've gotten the desired effect out of everything once the album actually dropped?
I don't know yet. You know, I think we let the music speak for itself. A lot of that joke hyping stuff was just fun for us in the studio to keep ourselves going, because when you're in the studio, when you can take a break from doing all the writing and recording and things like that, it's a breath of fresh air. So that's kind of us just losing our minds in the studio, posting all those funny videos and stuff. And Misha is a lot to thank over there for that stuff. Yeah. He's good at editing funny videos. He's gonna be in.
Whose family was it that got uploaded to Pirate Bay? I was trying to find that. I was trying to find that joke for the fucking at least an hour last night. Where is it? Somebody had said, "Oh, sorry guys, I accidentally leaked Juggernaut." Oh, sorry dude, I posted a picture of your keys on what was it, Instagram. Sorry dude, I uploaded your family to Pirate Bay. Shit like that, and that was beyond entertaining the whole time. Meanwhile, we're sitting here like, when did we get to hear something?
Well, yeah, it's all out there now, man. You can hear everything. The whole 81 minutes or whatever it is.
Yeah, that was another thing I needed to thank you guys for. Thank you for ruining music for me for the last 2 weeks. It's the only fucking thing I can listen to.
That's great, man. That was the goal. Put a lot of music out there and keep people entertained for a while.
For sure, man. For sure. Badass. And I mean, in a lot of your webisodes and shit like that, when you guys were wrapping up the record, there was a certain sense of exasperation from all of you upon completion of it. Aside from the obvious of the fact that it's a ridiculously complicated album, was there anything in particular that attributed to the fact that you were just too happy for it to be done?
It took a long time from the start of it to completion. God, some of the songs that we have on the record were in demo form like 2 years ago, maybe even over 2 years ago, and it was just relieving to have all of that stuff done and behind us. And the studio process, it took a very long time. Not to say it was a bad experience, because it was a great experience. Producing the whole record together as a band, it was great. But it took like over 2 months to, from the start of the recording to the end of the recording, it took over 2 months in the studio. So you can imagine how hectic it felt by the end of it. Yeah. We were just ready to get out of there.
That, and of course the legend of how hot the bloody thing was.
Oh, it was terrible. There was no AC. Yeah.
Why the fuck? How is that even possible?
We rented it out from a property management company or whatever, and they don't like to take care of their property, so fair enough. No AC, it didn't work.
Okay, well, don't record in the Sahara Desert. Anyway, specifically with you, the whole legend of Spencer Sotelo, when you started out in the band, you weren't much doing the screaming thing at that time, and you really got into that when you would join Periphery. Now, how do you feel that you progressed in all of that and coming up to this particular record?
I would say it's just a natural progression is what you're hearing, you know, from touring so much and from recording myself so much and recording other people and learning things from other people when I record them, because I don't know if you know this, but I produce other singers when I'm home on the side for extra money and things like that. And yeah, I've learned different sounds from other people I've recorded and, you know, different techniques. And yeah, like I said, from just touring a lot, it's just a natural progression, just doing it over and over and over and finding out new things about my voice, and now here I am doing what I'm doing.
Badass. Specifically about your touring and how much you hammer on yourself, what do you specifically do to warm up before most of your gigs and stuff like that?
Nothing special. You know, a lot of people ask me that and expect some sort of witchcraft or some weird shit, but it's basic scales, man. Just, you know, I warm up, low part of my voice, and go gradually to the higher part of my voice, and pretty much what every other singer does. You know? Okay, yeah.
Cool. And did you pick that up from anywhere in particular, or was it just something that you knew walking into the band before?
Things that I had heard other singers doing on tour, things that, you know, I had heard Melissa Cross doing, but it's just really standard stuff. There's no secret to it. It's just properly warming your voice up. That's all it is.
Now, again, speaking a little bit about the record, you had done everything that was possibly vocal section in this record from top to bottom, and you made a lot of talk about how stressful it was to you. Just how many times were you found in a bathroom crying, trying not to kill yourself about the whole thing, first of all?
I think I found myself at the bottom of a bottle of whiskey more than I found myself crying in the bathroom, but
fair enough.
Yeah, that I'd say that's what kept me sane in the studio.
Just drinking a ridiculous fucking...
Yeah, you know, not an unhealthy amount, but enough to keep me in a good mindset.
And a lot of what you've written on this record, both melodically speaking and lyrically speaking, are some of the darkest shit that you've ever written before from previous records. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous.
That was the goal.
And at what point did you really decide, I'm going to make this a story and I'm going to make this a start to finish thing, and how fucked up did you were going to make it?
Well, I think that was something that we had talked as a whole band about for years. You know, we hadn't really set the concept and what we wanted. There had been things we had talked about that have been floating around for years, but we knew that when we wrote Juggernaut and put it out, that we wanted it to be a concept and like a flowing story from start to finish, almost like a movie's playing out or something, you know?
Yeah.
And I took that in mind and just kind of ran with it, and I'm very influenced by older dark, like occult movies like Rosemary's Baby and things like that.
Which you mentioned in the episodes.
Yeah, that, and I had been watching a show called True Detective at the time, which is very much so in that.
McConaughey, all of that.
Yeah, and I think those are the kind of things that were really inspiring me at the time, so it ended up being a very dark occult themed story.
Oh, that's over my head.
It's like in this universe, we process time linearly forward. But outside of our space-time, from what would be a fourth dimensional perspective, time wouldn't exist. And from that vantage, could we attain it, we'd see.
To working on Juggernaut a little bit, you guys had released what you proclaimed as an EP for Clear. There was a lot of proclamation when you guys were writing this and recording it, specifically stating that this is not our next record. This is just something to tide you guys down in between. Is there a reason why you really wanted to differentiate that from what was then going to be Juggernaut later?
Yes, definitely, because that was more of an experiment for us, and like you said, it was also, you know, to hold the fans over, because it had been a while since we put out anything official. But that was, I look at it more as more of an experiment than an EP even, because every member had a hand in writing their own song or directing their own song, you know, in some way, shape, or form. And you can kind of hear it, you know. It doesn't sound like your typical Periphery record or EP or whatever. It's from every song, from one song to the next on every song, it's just completely different stylistically. And I think we wanted to make sure the fans knew this wasn't a direction that we were pushing the band in. It's just a fun little experiment we were doing.
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'll wrap it up so I don't take any more of your time. Obviously, with Periphery seeming to know every single step of where they're going to go every time you do anything, what is next after this record?
We honestly don't know, and we don't plan, you know, everything years in advance or anything. You know, we may not do another record for 2 or 3 more years, who knows? But at that point in time, we're going to do what feels right then, instead of, you know, setting things for ourselves now and limiting ourselves.
in every possible way badass. So thank you very much for giving me your time today, man. I really appreciate it. Get well soon. Bucketlist Music Reviews. Check that shit out.